G'day everyone, Nick here from CPAP Reviews. Firstly, I'd like to say thank you to you all for watching the videos. We now have over 500 subscribers to our YouTube channel, and the videos have been viewed over 130,000 times, so big thumbs up to you all. I'm sure that many of you have found out the hard way that CPAP isn't cheap. I'm sure a few jaws have dropped to the ground when clinics have told you the price of little accessories and things like that. I know it's hard to swallow, but unfortunately that's what we have to deal with here in Australia. There's quite a high RRP on the products, and there's not a whole lot of margin in it for the resellers to drop those by too much, okay? But obviously you can hunt around online, find some good deals, and just do the best you can to not break the bank. And when it comes to not breaking the bank, today I'm going to talk about a machine that is at the lower end of the price range, but at the same time represents very good value, and it's a very good quality machine. So when it comes to buying automatic machines, you generally have, your really high-end ones, which are your Philips, your ResMeds, your Fisher & Paykel's, and they retail north of $2,000 for an automatic machine with humidifier. So upwards, to $2,500 retail for a Philips Stream Station. And a lot of you who are watching these videos now don't have that sort of money to be, they got budgets and things to stick by. They don't have $2,500 to spend on a fancy sleep machine. All right, so this is where some of these other brands come in that offer really good value for money, but also you're not sacrificing too much quality. So this machine in particular I'm going to talk about today is the BMC Luna machine. You can pick them up for under $1,000. All right, and I'm going to go through and do this video in about 3 parts, I think, because there's a little bit to go through. So I'll start by just going through the machine and just showing you a little bit about it, just putting it together and how it's sort of operated. And then I'll go through and do one on just the patient settings, so looking down at the screen so you can just sort of see how I operate and change the settings of the machine. And then 3, I'm going to go in and show you how you can actually download the data from this machine, so you can look at what your sleep is actually like over night time and make sure that the therapy is doing its job and treating your sleep apnea, and then how to adjust the therapy in terms of the pressure if it's not. All right, so 3 parts, maybe 4, but we'll just see how we go. So without further ado, let's have a look and see what we've got inside the bag, and then we can put it together and have a bit of a play. All right, so it does come in this nice sturdy bag. As you can see, it is quite a large system, so if you are someone that is traveling frequently, it's probably not going to be ideal for you, because it is, you can see, quite a big carry case there. So it is a little bit bigger in size. But you can also run it without the humidifier, so you can take the humidifier chamber section off, which makes it smaller and more portable for travel. Let's have a look, let's open it up. So I do like this case. Some other companies make smaller cases, but it's annoying because you can't really get everything in, especially, you do have a couple of masks or, a few other bits and pieces like battery or something like that. But this is quite a nice big case, so you've got plenty of room in here. All right, plenty of compartment space for your masks and things like that. You've got your tubing that sort of sits in at the back there, and then you've got your 2 sections of the machine in the front, okay? The humidifier over here, and then your pump section over here with your nice big screen. So let's get it out and put it together. So the components I'm going to need here is the tubing, your machine, your humidifier, and I've already got the power cord set up here. So the very first thing we're going to do is just put the 2 pieces together. So we have our humidifier section over here, and then the section that has the screen and the buttons on it. We're just going to basically just push them together. So they just sort of push them together to click them. To take them apart, there's a button on the back here. We just basically just press them and the buttons come apart. So when I was saying before, you can run this machine without the humidifier, you just attach your tubing to here, okay? So just don't leave that part away and just run it straight from your machine. Right, but today we're going to run it with the humidifier, so just click the 2 pieces together, okay, and that's your unit. All right, so I'll just do a little bit of a pan around here so you can see. All right, that's your inlet there where your filter is. It's that little button I was talking about before to disconnect it. All right, and you've got at the top here your power port. a little USB port, and an SD card, okay, data sort of side of things. Alright, so now that we've got it here, I'm just going to connect the power to the back. So when you're connecting the power to the back, it can only really go in one way, so it's not too confusing, okay. Push that into the back there, grab your tubing. Now this is standard tubing, it comes with standard tubing, and what standard tubing means it's standard in diameter, okay. So it's the 20 mil tubing, not the 15 mil tubing, which is the thin tubing. Nothing wrong with 20 mil tubing, it's fine, but it's also standard in that it's not heated. And what that means is it doesn't have a copper coil that runs through the tubing like some of the other fancy machines have. So some of the high-end ones have what we call a heated tube system. This is just a standard tube system, which is fine. You know, people have been using standard tube systems for forever. You can, if you want to, get what's called a hibernite heated tube system for this machine. They're between about 130 150 Australian dollars. And that is like an external heated tube, so it works the same way. Got a copper coil that runs through it. You plug it into just a wall socket at home, and that has its own little power supply. Okay, so that'll work. Another thing you can do if you want, you can buy these tube cozies, which are like insulated sort of covers for the tubing, and that way it'll keep the tube insulated as well. Okay, in the air. Keep the air inside of the tube out, away from the outside cold temperature, especially in like where we are at the moment, Melbourne. We're just coming into winter, and it is starting to get cold, and we're already getting the phone calls of people trying to run a lot of humidification and getting condensation. Okay, but we'll talk about that another time. So what we're going to do here, both ends are exactly the same, all right, and we're just going to put one end onto the machine, onto the humidifier here. Okay, this is sort of the thing that swivels around, okay, which is handy. And then the other end is going to go onto our mask, which I'll put on in a minute, just to show you sort of how that works. Once we've got the tubing on, the next step we're going to do before operating is fill up what they call the H60 humidifier chamber. And to do that, there's a little button on the front just here. Okay, if we press that button, the lid pops up, and we can pull out our little chamber. So this is our water chamber here. It's quite a unique water chamber in the sense that it's actually got two compartments in it, and what that does is this middle compartment doesn't actually get water in it. So that keeps it water free, and it heats up and creates heat in the air, which is really handy. And so that way you get moisture and heat in the air, okay? And that's a really cool feature of this machine. I really like that. All right, so to fill this chamber up, just this new, it's got a sticker on it, so just pull that sticker off. It's got at the bottom here a little cap, yeah, and that's where we're going to fill the water up. So what we do is we just rotate that cap, the cap comes off, and then we just fill it up here. Just get yourself some distilled water from the supermarket, okay, and you just fill it up there just below the max level. All right, there's a little level on the side there that says max. Okay, so just make sure you don't go over the max there. Maybe a couple of mil below the max is fine. And then you just put your little cap back on, tighten it up, flip it back over, and just place it back in. Once that's in, we're pretty much ready to go. This machine's got a lovely big 3.5-inch LCD color screen on it. Okay, that's definitely a really nice feature of it. Everything's nice and bright on the screen. When I turn it on, I'm not sure if you can see that screen there. It's a really nice bright LCD screen, so you can see everything that's going on in the screen, and it's also super easy to change the settings because the interface itself and the UI system's really intuitive and easy to use. Okay, I think they've copied it from someone else, but at the same time it just means it's really nice and easy to change the settings, to change the humidification levels, to look at your data. Everything's nice and big on this big 3.5-inch color LCD screen. All right, so once we've filled up the chamber with water, we're pretty much ready to go. All we've got to do is just grab our CPAP mask and connect it to the other end of the tubing. And then with the other part where the mask you've got on, put that on like that. So this is a nasal pillow mask, sits just at the nostrils there. Oh, it's not the most prettiest thing in the world, but... And then all we do with this one is we just hit the middle button. Okay, it does have an auto on feature which you can turn on, but just to turn on today, I've just hit the middle button. and it's starting. So that's on. That's sort of working now. It is a quiet machine, okay? I'll put that up. You probably can't hear it. It's only running on 4 centimeters. But it is a really quiet machine, okay? Some people have the opinion that if they're going to get a lower price machine, that it's going to be really noisy. Not the case, okay? Really, really quiet, just as quiet as the other ones, more expensive ones. So that's pretty much how easy it is in terms of to set up and use. So when we talk about like why would you get a BMC Luna, well, one of the main things is definitely cost. Okay, the cost of them is about half of what you're going to pay for another machine. So if you are on a budget, or you're a low income earner, or you're on disability pension, or whatever it is, and you need to get yourself a CPAP machine, this is something you'd look at. All right, an automatic machine. So automatic machine under $1,000 is a really good deal, and normally you can pick them up with masks and stuff included, like in bundles and things like that. So that's number one, definitely cost. Number two is the actual features of this machine are very similar to other machines as well. They've got great data systems. They've got a great humidification systems. It's nice and easy to clean. They come with a good warranty. The screen and in terms of just operating the machine is dead simple. You really just fill it up, hit the button, and you're done. But you know, having that nice big screen there is really great. And also you can run this machine with a battery system. Okay, so it's a 24-volt machine. But you can pick up 24-volt lithium-ion batteries for this machine itself. So if you are someone who wants to go camping or whatever, you can use this machine with a battery, and you can head over to cpapbatteries.com.au, and they do great battery systems for all sorts of machines. So check out those guys. And I do some of their videos too. Disclaimer there. So yeah, so that's part one of the series, just showing you sort of how it works and how to put it together. Now I'll go into part two. So yeah, if you want to check out part two, you can just click on, I think it's up, the link's going to come up here, and that'll take you to part two. And I'll put another link up here to where you can buy the machine from. All right. Cheers for watching, and check out part two in terms of the actual screen and how to change user settings. Okay. Cheers. Bye.